Hey everybody, what's up, Carpet Crew? It's your boy ALG, and we are going to go ahead and get started on this game here. I'm very excited to show you Magic Carpet.
In its infancy, the whole of creation glimmered against the dark void. But one place in the universe outshone all others, for it glowed brilliantly with a magical energy known as mana. The world was eventually discovered, and the first pioneers settled the land. The people dedicated their lives to separating mana from nature in order to command its powers. However, after centuries of fruitfulness, the land was rendered barren by man's insatiable greed. Fierce competition between wizards degenerated into war, great creatures being summoned to do their creator's bidding in the ensuing struggle. But the life breathed into these creatures was charged with evil, and the beasts turned against their masters. Fearing for his life, a foolish wizard and his young apprentice prepared a spell, hoping to scatter his opponents to oblivion. But the power of the spell was greater than even he could have foreseen. The whole world shook with a mighty earthquake, in which the wizard himself perished, leaving his apprentice with the arduous task of restoring the world to equilibrium.
Do not be disheartened. You must return the realm to nature's order.
Okay, that's Magic Carpet. That's that intro for you. Sorry if the audio was a little bit of a popping thing going on there. I don't know why it did that, but sometimes with the cutscenes, I notice with DOS games, it tends to do that. Again, I don't know why. It's just how it is. But very interesting background story that I have with this game. I remember it was what 1997. I'm just gonna get the first level started here. It was 1997, and I was a practicing Catholic. And what was it? What was the thing? It was like your first like baptism or something like that, or no, communion. That's right. It was communion, and after communion was over, she gave me this game, and I'm like, what? Like my grandmother gave me this game named Magic Carpet, but it wasn't DOS. It was for the Sega Saturn, so I actually got the port. And from what I understand, the port of this game is pretty crap. But this is the DOS version, which is way better. It's way more accessible. So, oh boy. I better start explaining what I'm doing here. So, the entire point of this game, oddly enough, is to collect mana and advance to the next stage. So, oh jeez. And there's a lot to this game, but once you know it all, I mean, typically like most games, it comes pretty second nature to you. Let's see here. You have a bunch of enemies in this game, and you have a bunch of spells, and it operates kind of like a first-person shooter, kind of like a helicopter-esque type of game, but again, you get spells, and not all spells are offensive. Oh, you have a worm there. So worms are basically going to be like your very low-leveled entry tier enemies. And then you have birds. Birds are extremely annoying, and each enemy can do different things. To your mana, to your balloons, to your castle. Whew. Yeah, I need to actually build up my castle before I can collect more mana. But I'm just going to try to explain the quick and dirty of how this works. So here is a castle. In order to beat every single level in the game, you need to build a castle at some point. And the castle is what collects the mana for you. And mana does two things. One of which is it serves as ammunition for the spells, and two is that it enables you to cast higher level spells, but eventually, you know, you're gonna advance once you collect where the white dots are flashing. I think it's on the top left-hand corner. Right, and now that I've upgraded my castle, I can send out the balloon and collect more mana. Actually, I should be done with this level. I don't know why. It's level number 1. Shouldn't be that hard. But you also have to find spells too, which can be very aggravating. And in the higher levels, what actually tends to happen is the game will take spells away from you and you have to recollect them. Yeah. Oh, there we go. World restored. I don't even have to upgrade it, but I did anyway. So I'm thinking maybe we'll just get through the first 10 levels here, and we're just going to see how recording this goes.
Congratulations, Master Wizard. The world is restored to equilibrium.
Okay, so basically at the end of every level, it'll give you the level number and the name, and it'll give you a summary of your performance, which means absolutely nothing. Here's your save and load icons, and there's your C drive. That's for you to get out of the game. And if you want to continue with levels, you have to click this hourglass from now on. So we're going to be clicking the hourglass. And every time you go up a level, you basically get harder enemies, some of which are incredibly difficult. Yeah. I hope the audio is good. Please let me know. I know that the game audio, I set it to be a little bit more quiet than usual. Ooh, yeah. Get all this mana here. Yep. And I should probably tell you what the pause screen is. When you press P on the keyboard, that's pause. But when you press enter, it actually gives you a map. But it's kind of like a localized map. It doesn't give you like a whole lot of stuff here. I totally missed that spell too. I gotta turn around here. And you can access the enter map without pausing it too. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. So in the first like 20 levels of this game, it's highly beneficial to find every spell you can as soon as you can. And there's different ways to do it. Sometimes the levels will just give it to you. Sometimes certain conditions have to be met. Yeah, there we go. And that's the acceleration spell. There we go. Oof. So basically you build as much as you can, as fast as you can. And will we see the dragons in this level? I don't think so. It's just worms so far. Oof. So yeah, you have a mean trigger finger with this game, I'm telling you. And sometimes it's really about speed. Sometimes you really have to think through here. Sweet, a level 4 castle. I think that's it. Like, there's not... I literally pre-gamed before this run. I'm like on level 38 in my personal save file. And the game just gets so much more frustrating. Like, these first initial levels are like easy. Extremely easy to me. Watch me eat my words. I mean, there's no rival wizards or anything. You get rival wizards in this game. Sometimes you have to kill them in order to get the spells. All that fun stuff. And I think the most aggravating part about this game is the speed at which the balloons collect shit. Or rather, mana. You can also possess buildings here, and that can help you build your castle too, even though I find it to be not as reliable of a method. Because especially when other wizards, birds come in, they can just repossess the buildings, and it's just kind of dumb. It's kind of pointless, you know? Tons of birds here. Oh, pfft. Easy. Easy peasy. I'm just gonna skip this. It's the same old cutscene, 3 minutes. We're gonna keep going. We're not even gonna save. There is a hot save feature if you hit Alt S, because I'm using the GOG download. Oh, this is the one with the bees. The bees suck, but bees are kind of like an odd type of blessing, and I'll show you guys why in later levels. But yes, getting back to the save feature. Oh! Just fly backwards with bees. Ah. Shoot. Here, you hit Alt Save, it'll say Zanzahar, save the game. That's her name, is Zanzahar by default, I think. But bees are nice, because bees can give you a ton of mana. Strategically, the castle placement was crappy, but I'll figure it out. Ooh, look, wormies. Worms are easy. Give me that mana, boy. I used to be so afraid of the bees when I was a kid. Like, I would just play this game routinely, and the bees were just freaking insane. I think the construction people are back. Yeah, it's a rumbling. I hope that that's not gonna get in the way of the audio, because I thought they'd be done for the day instead of coming back, but let's see here. Now, the nice part about bees, I forgot to mention, is that even though they follow you, and even though they're very strong, if you set up a castle, they cannot attack you as long as you are within the bounds of your castle. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind about your castle is if you hover above it, it'll help you regenerate health faster and regenerate spells faster. So mana is... it's weird, like it doesn't quite... Ooh, it doesn't quite expel or decrease in volume when you use spells, because it can regenerate just like your health. Like your health is able to regenerate. But mana kind of limits you from spamming your spells all the time. But you need to collect more of it in order to cast higher level spells that require higher levels of mana. Yeah, totally crushing it here. I didn't even kill all the bees. So if you get the techniques down, it's actually not that bad. Oof. There we go, that's game pretty much. I just have to wait for the balloons to collect everything. I think there is a rival wizard, but he doesn't do anything. There's no castle that he has. Ooh. I don't think the mirror is gonna do anything. Oh my god. As for the fireball, it's pretty much auto-locking, so that's the nice part about it. Let's see if we can... Is there any spells? No. Yeah. This game is pretty nice to you in the beginning. Gives you tons of enemies, more than enough mana to complete the level.